Throughout WBNG's 65 years, the Twin Tiers have experienced many devastating to at times catastrophic storms.
Yeah, meteorologist Nick Marianis and I continue our Storm Tracker weather series tonight by taking you through some of the significant storms of the 90s.
The decade of the 90s was very active in the Twin Tiers, starting in 1993 with the storm of the century.
Snowfall reports ranged anywhere from maybe a low end of 15 to 18 inches to well over 30, approaching 40 inches in some spot, if I remember correctly. We knew it was going to be a major snowstorm. The forecasting angle of it was, as far as whether or not we were going to get it, was easy. It was such a massive storm. Our computer models in that day were not as good as they are now, but we could see that storm coming days in advance.
The National Weather Service that the storm was going to be extremely dangerous and that we needed to activate the emergency broadcast system.
The biggest impact was the interruption in people's lives. I believe there were people that were stranded in their homes for almost a week before plows could get to them. The snow was so dense and so deep that in places you couldn't plow it.
The aftermath of that storm, we had the Great American, which was up here on Hooper Road. The roof collapsed in that building, and it was actually while we were here at the station. And we went over, responded, and Chief Chellis, Brett Chellis, who's Emergency Services Director now, was our chief here at NWEL. And he was the smallest guy, so we got him to go in and look and make sure, to the best of our knowledge, that there was nobody trapped in the building. But that was a scary situation.
But as it turned out, the people were lucky enough that when they sensed something, there's only a few people in the store and a couple employees, that they sensed the building was coming down and were able to either make it out front or to the outside of the building.
It really turned what should have been late winter, early spring back into the middle of winter here. The impact was incredible.
Almost 3 years later, in January of 1996, winter suddenly turned spring-like after 4.5 inches of rainfall melted more than 45 inches of snow, causing record flooding. 41 counties in New York State and the entire state of Pennsylvania were declared federal disaster areas.
Between the two states, more than 24 deaths were confirmed, including 10 in New York State, 6 of which were in Delaware County. 5 were family members, including a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old who died when their vehicle was swept away by floodwaters. Damages were astronomical, especially in Delaware County, where the losses exceeded $20 million, according to the United States Geological Service. According to FEMA, damage to roads, bridges, and private property exceeded $100 million.